Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. It is that time of week again. It's time to flour it up. So I thought I would bring you along with me while I make my weekly loaf. In the wintertime I usually make 2 loaves at a time. In the summertime I make 1. But today I am going to be making just 1 loaf of my Pullman. I call it my Pullman Pan bread loaf. So I'm just going to be making 1 loaf today, and I thought I would bring you along with me as I flour it up. So I have my water. I'm using honey today, and then my yeast. I am going to bloom it because I'm using older yeast just to make sure it's active. So my yeast is now bloomed. Putting on my dough hook on my stand mixer, and I'm going to get this bread together. So my dough came together, all the butter came off the sides, incorporated everything. The bowl is nice and clean. So I'm actually going to transfer it into this bowl with some oil into a oven with the light on so it can set for the first rise. So, as the saying goes, a winner never quits and a quitter never wins. So, since I have my oven on for my weekly bread loaf baking, I'm going to try this again with a different recipe and a slightly different technique. And if you haven't guessed yet, I'm going to attempt to make bagels again, because that's something we use quite often in my household, or eat quite often in my household, other than like a sandwich loaf bread, which you just saw me make. So I am going to attempt to make bagels with a different recipe than I did previously. And cross your fingers, this is the one that actually makes us want to eat them when they're cold out of the fridge, or this time of year we just sit it on the counter. They don't really go into the fridge other than summertime when it's hot. But yeah, I'm going to attempt to make bagels again. So cross your fingers, let's see how this goes. So my bread's risen to its doubled in size. It was actually touching the top. So I'm going to roll this out and put it in the pan to rise a second time. So I'm just going to shape it and put it in the pan. So already this dough feels a lot more supple than the other recipe I was using. So that second bowl, I'm actually going to freeze it just in case it doesn't work out. Maybe I can just turn it into rolls. And I'm going to put this in the freezer. Okay, getting back to these bagels, this is what they look like. I went back to the recipe and actually she doubled the recipe and got 12. And I only did one of the recipe, so that was 6. So, I wanted them a little bit smaller than she was making hers, so I did 4. And the rest, we'll see how it goes. And this is what they look like. And now for the boiling process. Okay, since I'm only doing a few, I put on a small pot of water this time. Add in my baking soda. And I am going to use some honey this time. Get some honey out. Gonna use some honey. Yeah. I have a glove on my hand because I cut my finger. So instead of bleeding all over everything, I put a off-grid band-aid on it and a glove. That works. So I'm gonna get that melted down and we're gonna get boiling these bagels. First one is in, and I'm just gonna wait 30 seconds and then I'm just gonna flip it over. A couple more seconds before I flip this one over. Okay, we're gonna flip this. Sorry about the fogginess of the lens, but that's what happens when I have hot water. Okay, so here's what they look like after they've been boiled. These two right here have the raisins in them, and these two are just the cinnamon in them. So we'll see how this works out. So far, so good. I like the holes in the middle. So of course, since I had the oven on with the bagels, I decided to whip up no, I didn't whip it up. These came out of my freezer. I decided to bake a quick batch of cookies that I had in the freezer, and I have no more, so maybe I should restock the freezer of those. Okay, so here they are out of the oven. I am so pleased with how they turned out, and I already pulled them off the paper, and look at the bottoms. They're not burned. Yes, I'm so happy, so happy, so happy, so happy. So I'm just gonna move them over here on the cooling rack, and we're gonna try them in a little bit. So just to let you know, we did try them. There are none left. So I actually pulled out the second bowl that I put in the freezer, and I made that as well. Definitely have to double the recipe next time. The bowl froze beautifully. I didn't get to freeze any of the bagels and pull it out. I did put a couple in the fridge and pull them out, and they were great right out of the fridge. So this might be our new recipe for bagels. The search might be over, but we did enjoy them. So I'm going to make them again and maybe report back later on as to how they freeze, because I didn't get to try that. And I will include the recipe in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and click that notification bell to be notified when I upload videos. God bless, and remember, stay safe and keep prepping.